Hello, everyone. My name is Timothy Lee Grant. So, one of the goals that I had for this weekend is to be able to complete the project into a minimal viable product, right? And what I was defining that as is I have a front end and I have my back end that I was developing, and I want to be able to add items and delete items, right? That's the core functionality of this project, which the project is meant to be able to demonstrate skills within back-end software engineering and communication of databases and SQL database, no SQL database, Swagger, right? Like all of these different things. Okay, so first off, we need to get the base of the actual project working, and I was able to get it yesterday to the point where I have a front end and I'm kind of able to communicate to the back end database. Now we need to be able to do the same thing from the front end, but communicate to the other microservice. So we have multiple microservices. And then once that is done, we kind of do have a minimal product. And then from there, we can really start to dig into, okay, well, how is it working? And do that investigation portion, because we have the building portion, which is just get something to work, and then there's the understanding, and then once we understand it, then we are able to kind of iterate over things and make it better and continual improvement. So that's kind of the direction that I'm going. I really want to get it done by this weekend, and that way I can feel kind of like a little bit better about the project. Like, okay, fine, we have something that works. Now let's just focus our attention on understanding and then actual building things out, adding extra features, right? Like, okay, well, let's do what is Kubernetes? Can it fit into this project? How can we do Docker? How are we able to uh, change this project to be better, right? Like, and then investigating all of those different things. So that's in the future. So today, let's just kind of get to the point where, okay, fine, there's something that works. So we have this front end service, and we are able to render. We did this yesterday. We are able to go to routes, and we have this. So producer resource front end. So I'm going to be creating something very similar to this, which is consumer resource front end. So that is going to be for this consumer resource. And as you notice right now, we don't have authentication, we don't have the user logging in, we don't have any of that. That we do need to develop that. I want that to be part of the product, but I just want to get something that is kind of like, okay, cool. It's I don't want to say it's developed, but I have something that I can actually say, okay, here is it. Does that make sense? Whereas right now, if I showed this off, it would be like, okay, well, it doesn't work. I want something that it will be like, okay, well, I can show this off, it works, and I'm adding this feature to it, right? Like that, fundamentally, that's a very different thing to say. Is okay, well, here it is. It doesn't work right now, but I'm doing this. Versus, here it is. This is the features and functionality. This is how it works. This is what it's doing. And I am working to add this feature. Fundamentally different. So I'm trying to get to that point where here it is. Yes, it works. Here's what it can do. And I'm adding this feature or whatever. So let's try to get to that point today. All right, so I have this producer resource front end, and I want to be able to communicate to my consumer microservice. Okay, so I need another route, and this route, again, we're gonna have to refactor everything. Haha. But we're not going to have it in index. We're going to have it in separate things. And we need to figure out, like, okay, well, once we do add authentication and the user logs in, well, how do we actually want to structure things, and how do we want to give this information to the user to be able to allow them to interface? Right now, we're just going to give a very basic interface. So I'm not going to worry about all of this. I'm just going to go router.post, because it's going to be a post request again. We're going to post to the consumer resource how many items we want to take. Okay, and now what is the endpoint? It's going to be very similar to this. It is going to be consumer resource front end. Okay, and now with here, this is the callback function that we are going to do. So it's going to be a synchronous and request response like this. Make sure I got that correct. Request, yeah, response, and like that. Good. All right, so what do we want to do? It's going to be, I think, very similar to this. So we're going to have a message again, and is equal to await. And then now we don't want, can we reuse this actually? Hold on. Post service. So this just does a post request using a URL. So using this resource at this URL and this body. I actually think we can reuse this. So let me go into my services, service caller here, post service. We do the post request, we get the body name and quantity. And so these entities are actually going to be the same. The only difference is the endpoint that we actually hit and the resource that we're using. So I can reuse that. Okay, so await and then post service, and now I want to find out what my consumer resource is calling itself. So I need to go into the application properties, source main Java resources application properties. It is calling itself consumer resource. Okay, now I think I can put it here. It needs to be capitalized, but if you notice in my post service here, I do a post request on this base URL. Okay. So the service name is consumer resource. I put this into get service URL here. And one of the things that I do, here, is I do to uppercase. Okay. So I searched the Eureka server, and I automatically make it to uppercase. So that is something that is not necessary for me to make it uppercase. So I have that, and then what do I want to do? I want to give the URL, so I need to find that URL in my consumer resource. So what URL am I trying to hit? Consume resource. Here. And I want to find, yeah, this is the one. So it's the post mapping for the consume resource of consume resource, okay? And I am going, this is the one right here, which is going to do the actual like deleting from the database. Okay. And then I want to send the request object. Is that right? Because when I go to the post service, okay, when I come here, I have the request body, and I want to get the body name and quantity. And that is going to be given to me from the front end. Okay, so now I need to capture that from the front end. Well, actually I can do what's up here. So response.send. Okay, so I'm going to send message here, which is the response that I got back. And then if there is a problem in this, okay, so yeah. Catch error this, and then what do we want to do? Response dot status. Okay, and we're sending a 500 code status send, and then failed to reach consumer microservice. Do I have the error up here? No, just okay. Then I can say with error is it like $? What? Hold on. Let me look at the JavaScript. What is the JavaScript way of putting a variable in text? Might be like that. Yeah, okay, here it is. $, and then this, but I need to have those weird brackets right there. Okay. So let's come here, let's do those weird brackets. This, and like this, and then I should be able to do $, here. Haha. Error. Okay, and I'm actually going to change it up here as well. So these weird ones, I'm going to say with error, I need $, and then this, and then I just said error, like that. Okay. So we're able to reach the end point here, but now I need to actually develop the view of this. So what I'm thinking is, right now, let me run this, and so backend project, I need to go into front-end service, and then node app.js, yeah. Okay. Do I still have my Eureka server running? I was expecting to get a... Okay, well. Okay. So... this... It might be... No, I'm not running the consumer resource. 8080. I want 3000. Yeah, this one. Okay. So I have this one here. And this is submit a supply. Now I want below this to say consume a supply. Okay. And then once I press click, it goes to a different API, or it goes to the consume resource endpoint. Okay, so let's go to this page's EJS file, which will be in views, home page. This one right here, I am actually going to delete because we're not using it right now. Okay. And then it's time for us to look at EJS. So this is definitely, I will need to think about how this is going to work. Okay, so in the body, yes, I want body. Now I actually want to almost copy this, right? So H1, and this is good learning for me as well. H1, okay. This. Take a supply. And notice we have no like CSS or anything like this yet. Again, the building on top of it. We want something that works, that we can say, hey, here it is. Take a supply. Okay. So then we have the ending H1. And then I can say form. Okay, so I'm creating a form on submit. What do we want to do? We want to do take supply, and I want to pass in event. Okay. So this entire thing here is going to be a form. Okay. So now within this, I can create a label. Okay, label like this, and type is text. Okay. The ID is going to be equal to name. Okay. So here's how. So I'm creating in the DOM, right, document object model, the different elements on the HTML, and from that I'm going to be able to grab that up here in well, it's going to be called take supply, but a function, a JavaScript function, I'll be able to do document, get the document, and then do get element by ID, and then the ID is going to be this name right here, and then I do dot value, and then I can capture that here in a variable. And then from that, I am able to create a JSON object and send this JSON object as a post request to my front-end service that's running on the server side. So this right here is running on the client side. This is in the browser, and it's going to send a request over to my index.js here to consumer resource front end, and then this is running on the server, and this will go and actually do the routing to the actual backend location. Okay. So name, okay. And then I can say required, okay. And then BR, okay. Oh no, that, sorry. I messed up, okay. As you can tell, I'm not doing HTML is definitely not name, okay. That's kind of annoying how it keeps jumping. Okay. And now I can say I'm going to create an input element of I messed things up. Of type text, okay. For equals. I don't know what for does actually. Come on, get out of there. That's kind of interesting. I need to look that up maybe. But now I can just say ID is equal to name. And now actually I think that I am going to come into a naming conflict. I need to say name consume, right? Okay. So ID and then required like this, and then BR, okay, BR, okay, label. Oh, I can just do like that? I don't need to do all those brackets? Oh, okay, okay. Quantity, consume, okay. Quantity, okay, okay. Let's see if I can do the same thing here. So I'm gonna say input. Okay. Is type text, no, type number, yep. Okay. And now I want ID is going to be equal to quantity consume, okay. And then required like this, and then BR. Okay. And then at the end I say button, okay, but in this button I want type is equal to submit, okay. Submit like this, and what action do I want to be taken? On submit I do this, so I need a function called take supply. So I'm gonna come up to my scripts, okay, I set me up, okay, so I want an asynchronous function, async function is called this. Okay. So now I want just console.log. Log and you reached the take supply function. Okay, like this. So let's see if we can get this going. So I'm gonna go like this, and I'm going to reload this. Hopefully we don't get any crash. Okay, we didn't get any compilation errors. I'm gonna refresh this, and hopefully so I'm gonna go like that, and then I'm gonna go like this, and then I'm gonna press submit, and hopefully we see something. We didn't see anything. Okay. What happened? Submit supply takes. What would happen? I'm curious if it's actually hitting here. So console.log, and then I am going to say in here, you reached submit supply function, okay? And then we are going to get out of this, make sure that this is saved, come here, and then do the same thing, hopefully. Okay, so we're not hitting either one. Take a supply name. And I also noticed that it cleared the elements in here. So is it reloading the page? Quantity, consume, quantity, okay. When I attempt to put information into the take supply form, then press submit, I don't see the no. Line being printed. Do you see a problem? Okay. So I see the problem, and it's a subtle one. The problem lies in how the onSubmit attribute is being used in your second form. And by the way, so this is definitely a good thing for me to be realizing is, maybe I need to spend a little bit more time in the future. Again, I you're not going to be able to learn everything, but trying to understand, like, okay, well, what is out there, and where are my weak points? And obviously I've never really used HTML, like, I've done little projects with HTML, but I never formally took a class in web development, and I never, like, really dedicated time to learning how web development, how the front end works. So I'm very much stumbling in the dark right now. Maybe, possibly, it would be beneficial for me to play around with it. And obviously, on this project, I might be able to, when I'm feeling, okay, I don't want to say free time, but I need to figure out I need to rank which concepts I feel are most important for me to understand and be able to demonstrate, and then based off of those rankings, be able to improve the project in that area. So hopefully learning front end will be possibly part of that list. So, but anyways, let's do it right. Let's do a little bit right now and start learning. Okay. So in my HTML, you're calling takeSupply event inline, but the function takeSupply is declared as async. When you call async function inline like this, it returns a promise. Okay, well, that actually makes sense. But this is an async function as well. This is async, okay. Is declared as async. When you call an asynchronous function inline like this, it returns a promise. Wait, hold on a second. This is on the browser side, isn't it? So hold on. Do something like this. There it is. Okay. Okay. This is on the browser side. This is on, or sorry, I was looking here, which on my terminal, this is the Node.js, this is my server side. Of course I'm not gonna see that console log. There we go. We got it. Okay. All right. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Nice. Okay, so we know that we hit the takeSupply here. So now what we want to do is very similar to up here. So I can operate on this event. Okay, so event dot prevent default. I don't know what that does, but it worked last time. So prevent default, just like this. Okay. And as I keep saying, like, there's the development portion and then there's the actual understanding portion. We're not at the understanding portion yet. We're trying to get it to work. Okay. Okay, so now we get the name and quantity. So const name is going to be equal to document dot get element by ID, right? And we want the ID. And what is the ID? It is name consumer. Name consume. Okay. I'm just going to copy and paste that so that I know. Oh, it is the same. Okay, fine. Is that what I did up there? A dot value. Okay, see, good thing I looked. Okay. So now const quantity is going to be equal to document dot get element by ID, and this one is going to be quantity consume. Okay, and then we want that value. Okay, so now actually what I want to do is do another console log. Make sure that we got that. Console.log, like this, those strange ones here, this, and say name is $, like this, $, like this, okay. Quantity, I can have name. I'm guessing that it's going to associate with this one, not, so that's a different function, that's outside of the scope. But this is the name. Let's just say that, like, if this was just name, it wouldn't associate with that because that's part of the document. And this is the function, which is in JavaScript. Okay, so quantity. Okay. Now I want to do a fetch. So I'm going to say const result is equal to fetch. Is that right? Response is equal to async. Asynchronous fetch to which endpoint? That is going to be to our front end endpoint. And then we're gonna give it the JSON object that we want. Okay. So I want to hit this endpoint. There. And we need method as post, okay. Okay. So the reason that I'm writing it out completely right now is I want to, I don't know why that's squiggly. Should work, right? Const response equals await. Await! Oh, okay. So what's the difference between async and await? Oh, that means await until this finishes. So I'm not declaring a new like function which is asynchronous. I'm awaiting this call to finish. Okay. Okay. So yeah, the reason that I'm writing this out fully is because I want to not just quickly gloss over it. I do want to kind of learn, not just fully develop, right? Learning as I'm going, and so far this method has actually been really like good because of it. I feel like I've learned a ton doing this. So content type application JSON. Okay, why are we doing that? I don't know. Application \JSON. Okay. And then after this, I have a body. And that is going to be what? Stringify. Okay, so I'm creating a JSON.stringify. And I want name and I want quantity. Okay. So that should come here. And my consume resource is not up yet, but we can fix that problem. Who are you? I don't know who that is. This is front end. but I have front end right here. So I can get rid of this. Okay, kill terminal. Who are you? Man, who are you? This is producer resource. Okay, so this one's producer resource. We actually don't need this one right now, but it's fine. I'm gonna come here and do a new terminal. Okay, so now I'm gonna go into consumer resource and then I'm gonna run it. So Maven Spring Boot run. Okay. Oh man, what's wrong? Oh, I didn't spell it right. Okay. Come on, please. Yes. Good. Now I should be able to go to Eureka and refresh this and see the consumer resource. Awesome. Now I should be able to come here and do the find all. Let's see. Okay, and we have the things that we added last time. Awesome. Now I should be able to do consume. And let's consume tardy. So I should be able to, from my front end, I need to get out of this and I need to run it again. Okay. And now I should be able to come here, refresh this page. Okay. Name is tardy. And how many do we want to take away? There's 92 right now. Let's take away 5. Okay. Let's take away 5 and submit that. Oh, okay, status 404, so it failed. And we can kind of confirm that by doing this, and it will still be 92. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. So we were unable to find the consumer resource. Okay. So our request should have a name and a body, so that should be fine. Okay. So this one, I should be able to do this again, and then I'm gonna see if did I see something failed? So can I run this again? Okay. I'm registered with Eureka, right? And it is capitalized, so maybe that's a problem. I don't know, but I'm just gonna see if I can come in here, do this tardy 5, do submit again. Okay, well, hold on. So no, I'm not seeing it up here. Okay. So what if I just did this? Say, fine, consumer resource. Then I need to come in here and exit out of here. Make sure that that's saved. Okay. Reload this. And we should get something that says like not in database. Okay. Instead, it just says failed with status code 404. What if I do the other one? So this one with 62. So this also failed. And it was working in the past. Okay, so that indicates should I just like go in and restart everything? Kill terminal, kill terminal, kill terminal, kill terminal. Okay, so start off here. Let's refresh this. Everything should be off. Okay, Eureka should not be on. This should not be able to, nothing, good. Failed to load everything. Okay, so now I want to, from my backend, I want to go into the registry, and then I want to do maven w spring boot run. And actually I'm going to copy this because I'm going to do this a lot. So one of the things that I said that I wanted to get done sometime in the future is have a script that goes through and actually automatically does all this. So I did the registry. So now we should go into the Eureka server and be able to see, and there's nothing, no instances. Good. So now I want to go into the consumer resource, okay? So now I want to start this up. So I do this, and it's going to start up the consumer resource. Okay? So now let's refresh this, and we're going to see consumer resource. Awesome. So now I want to go in and start up the producer resource. Okay? So now we refresh this, and we should see producer resource. Awesome. Now I want to come in, and I want to go into my front end, and I want to start that microservice. Okay, now we should see front end. Awesome. So now I should be able to come here. I'm going to load this. I'm going to try to do the one that we saw was working last time. So via and then 81. Okay, submit. unable to retrieve app ID. Unable, why would that be the case? It was working yesterday. So this is a different error though. Unable to retrieve instances for app ID. Just do without this one right now. Okay. This means my front-end service is trying to discover producer resource via Eureka, but Eureka doesn't currently have any registered instances under that app ID. Running the expected 8761. So 8761, yes, here. And it has producer resource right there, application ID. It is there. Okay. Even though Eureka sees producer, like, why was it working yesterday though? So, yeah. Okay. Once again, why was it working yesterday? Application properties. I come here. Okay. Here is my application properties in my consumer resource microservice. Okay. Get instance by app ID. So why does this one say like 8082 and this one not even have a port number? So let me go into my producer resource. But again, why was it working yesterday? That's the question. Like, what is going on here? I'm gonna have to rewatch my video yesterday to make sure, like, it was working. Am I crazy? So I don't actually have that. Application properties. Okay, so this one and then the front end. So the producer, I want consumer. Application properties here. I want under spring application.name. Under spring application.name, I want this, but I believe this is 8080. Believe I'm running this on 8080. Okay. So now I need to go into my producer, wherever that is. This consumer, okay. This one is registry. This one is producer. Okay, so I need to get out of here and rerun it. And then let's see if it re-registers itself with the port. Okay, it did. Now let's see if I can do this. Supply submitted, okay. Come here. Is this find all? Do I have via quantity 81? Again, why did it work yesterday? What is going on? What? And then if this is working, why is my take supply not working? Let me just do this again. Okay. And it fails. Okay. So What about if I did like in consumer resource, I have here, and then, so this is consumer, and what did I do for my producer? Where's producer? Returning a repository. Okay. I'm thinking it might have to do with the objects that I'm returning back. Like, what is response entity and what is this one? Okay. When I hit my add supply endpoint from the front end, it works. But my back end, my attempts to hit this one fail. Do you see any problems? Okay, so that's the one that passes. This is the one that fails. So this also returns a response entity though. Oh, wait. Consume resource there, right? Well, that shouldn't matter because I'm passing it in here and I'm passing it in here. But this one works, so that's not it. Okay, can you give me the curl command to hit the consume API endpoint? Okay. Let's just try to hit it with curl and then think that's right, but okay, whatever. Let's just try it. Let's just put this in. So, not there, but here, okay? I don't think this is right. 8082, which is the correct one. Not found. Well, hold on. Shouldn't it just be consume resource, though? I should be. What? API supplies. Our gloves in here. Let's try via. Okay. Let's do via. Okay. Not found. Okay. So let's do what I thought we needed to do. So instead of this strange stuff, we do all of this, and I need to hit which endpoint? I need to do a post request to consume resource. To so if I do a GET request, it's going to come to this homepage, right? Let's try it out. Localhost, not this one, but then we can go 8082, and then homepage. Is it the other way? Why? Wait, why am I not able to hit anything? I am able to hit the find all, but not the home page? What is... I can't hit anything anymore. Localhost 8082 find all. And what's this one? Wait, did I not? No. Okay. Consume resource find. Oh, consume resource. Oh, right. Okay. Like this. Homepage. Yes. Good. Consume resource. URL rejected. Malformed input to URL function. Okay, well, we got a different error. So now it's no longer... So it didn't like our, what? Input to URL function. Okay. So again, it's not this. It's not even reading what I'm putting in. Okay, whatever. So I am hitting this. Did it say reached? Not even seeing that. Hmm. Of type supply. And what is supply defined as? Name and quantity. Do we need the ID in there? But I didn't have the ID when I was doing the other one, so I... Get name. Return status dot okay. Response entity dot, how do I do that? Status HTTP, okay. Here we go. So why are you unhappy? Unreachable code, I don't care. Testing. Okay. Please tell me that this is not going to actually give me an error when I run it. Okay, good. Alright, so I'm gonna come here and I'm going to go back into here, do that exact same post request. This is ridiculous. What? Okay. I'm gonna come here and just delete this because it doesn't have even the right context. Okay. Malformed input to URL function. So does it not like content type application JSON? What if I just did this same thing? Okay. Curl post request to 8080 and then not to consume resource, but rather to my producer one. This one. So, whoops. API supplies. And that works. Okay, so it's not a problem with this. This is also a response body. Okay. Let's get rid of this. A response body supply. response body, supply, supply. So right now, it's not even a problem with the I can't even hit this endpoint. But I was able to. And the other weird thing is I can hit this server. Like, consume resource. Like, there it is. It's working. Well, okay, it doesn't update correctly, but that's fine. It's whatever. Okay, well. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to troubleshoot this in the next video, because I have no idea right now. I'm not even able to hit this endpoint. Like, what would be causing that? Could it be that consumer resource, let me just get out of it. Okay, and start it back up again. Okay. And then come here and not to this one, but to this one, okay. Yeah, okay. I'm not even able to hit this endpoint here. I was in the past. So apparently things just changed, because yesterday I was able to hit the consumer one, or sorry, the producer one. And then today I was unable to hit it, and I needed to change the application properties. And then today I'm not able to hit this consume resource endpoint, but whatever, like 3 or 4 days ago, I was able to hit it, and I verified that it was working. So I don't know what's up. I'm gonna have to troubleshoot it in the next video. So if that is interesting, subscribe to this channel. Yeah, I'll be back after a break. So hope everyone has a good rest of the day. Subscribe if you want to. My name is Timothy Lee Grant, and I'll see you soon.